Hostile forces detected. Orders are to deplete enemy sustainability. Neutralize enemy forces within allotted time frame.
Let's get this.
Yes. So it begins. Like the wind.
Caution, will all levels critical. Health scan initiated. Advise treatment of injury.
The wind calling. Yes.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
Don't overdo it.
I'm alive and kicking.
Yes. I will have my revenge. Like the wind.
Critical damage sustained.
Like the wind.
Commencing temporary shutdown.
Can't move.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
I will have my
Assistance
revenge.
required.
I'm touched.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Thank you. Like the wind. Like the wind. Can't move.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
I'm touched. Yes.
Redeployment
Wind
complete.
calling.
Please minimize wasteful expenditure of life.
Yes.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. I'm alive and
Can you
kicking.
move?
Only half the time Lodido this operation remains. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance
Wind
required.
calling.
Everyone's waiting for me.
Like the wind. Whoopsie.
damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required. I'm alive and kicking.
Can you move?
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
Can't move.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
I will have my revenge. Like the wind. Like the wind. So powerful.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
The wind is falling. Like the wind. I'm still with you.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Like the wind.
Caution, allotted operation time almost expired. Sustainability of enemy forces reduced to 50%. Revival successful. Please minimize wasteful expenditure. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
Like the wind.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required. I'm alive and kicking. Sustainability of Ali's forces reduced to 50%. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
Like the wind. Yes.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Let's enjoy this road.
I'm so happy. I live to tell the tale.
Hostile forces detected. Orders are to deplete enemy sustainability. Neutralize enemy forces within a lot of time frame.
Let's move out.
So it begins. Wind.
Health scan initiated. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
Can't move.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary
I'm
shutdown.
still with you.
Assistance required.
Yes. Here. Kiss me.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Hang in there.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
I'm still with you.
Caution, will all levels critical. Thorn functionality at risk. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Thank you.
I'm alive and
Can you
kicking.
move?
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
So shameful. The wind is calling.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
I will have my
Assistance
revenge.
required.
Yes.
Caution, allotted operation time almost expired. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
Can you move?
Assistance required.
Yes.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Like the wind. I'm good.
Critical damage sustained.
Yes.
Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Like the wind.
Sustainability of enemy forces at critical level.
Like the wind. I'm still with you. Can't move.
Contribution acknowledged. Standing down.
Battle complete. This is... You're so kind.
Donate resources to the Ministry of Productivity to earn entitlement points.
Greetings, sinners. It's time for this love and every day. First, the joy and prosperity community. Yes, you can.
hostile forces detected. Orders are to deplete enemy sustainability. Neutralize enemy forces within allotted time frame.
Let's get this over. So it begins.
Health scan initiated. Advise treatment of injuries. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance
I will
required.
have my revenge. Yes.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary
Yes.
shutdown. Assistance required.
This the wind is calling.
Critical damage sustained.
Don't
Commencing
overdo it.
temporary shutdown. Assistance required. Critical damage sustained.
Yes.
Commencing temporary shutdown.
Like the wind.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required. Critical damage sustained.
I'm still with you.
Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
So powerful. I will have my revenge.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
I will have my revenge.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Like the wind. Here. Like the wind.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
Like the
Assistance required.
All this for naught. I'm still with you.
I'm not done yet.
Yes.
Gotta get it.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required. Only half the time allotted to this operation remains. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
Yes.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Don't
Alive and
overdo
kicking.
it.
Sustainability of ally forces at critical level. Caution, critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
The wind is calling. Yes.
I'm alive and kicking.
Don't overdo it.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
I will have my revenge.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Yes. Can't move. I'm still with you.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
All this for naught. The wind is calling.
Ha! I like the wind.
So shameful.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Hi, another starting nice work. This'll be my last one. Chat, this'll be my last one. Sinners, I've got an important message for you from the joy and prosperity.
Hostile forces detected. Orders are to deplete enemy sustainability. Neutralize enemy forces within a lot of time frame.
Yes. Moving out.
Health scan initiated. Advise treatment of injuries.
Can't move. I'm still with you.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required. I'm alive and picking.
Protect me.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Like the wind. I'm still with you.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
Like the wind. Like the wind. Like the wind. Can't move.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
The wind is calling.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
Like the wind.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
I will have my revenge.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
I'm still with you.
I'm alive and kicking. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required. alive and kicking. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
I can't move. I will have my revenge.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required.
I will have my revenge.
Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown. Assistance required. Caution, allotted operation time used expired. Critical damage sustained. Commencing temporary shutdown.
Yes.
I'm alive and kicking. Critical. Thorn functionality at risk. Sustainability of enemy forces reduced to 50%. Contribution acknowledged. Standing down.
I live to tell the tale.
Donate resources to the Ministry of Productivity to earn entitlement points.